Hey, I think it's going to snow this weekend, like everywhere almost. So this weekend, one of Netflix's most expensive series and Amazon's hit car series, they return for a second season. Here to break it all down for this weekend's binge is Mickey O'Connor. He is editor-in-chief of TV Guide. Hey, if it's going to snow, you might as well stay in and stream a little something or other.
No activity.
Yes, so The Crown is back.
Yeah.
People have been waiting for this. So this is taking place after her coronation, right? This is where it starts.
So that was the big climax of season 1, is that they kept delaying the coronation, and they finally had it at the end. So yeah, so season 2 is like, it's more about sort of how she balances her position with her marriage and with her children. And, you know, and also, you know, like trying to figure out who she is beyond the position. And I think there's a lot of interesting cameos and stuff. And
can we watch a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Let's watch a little bit.
You married a wild spirit. Trying to tame them is no use.
This restlessness of yours, it has to be a thing of the past. The monarchy's too fragile. You keep telling me yourself. One more scandal, one more national embarrassment, and it would all be over.
I know who I am. A woman for the modern age. Free to live, to love, and free to break away.
Who's done more damage to the monarchy? Me with my willfulness, or you lot with your inhumanity?
Britain has changed beyond recognition, and yet the monarchy continues its pre-war routines as though nothing has happened.
What is it that you'd have me change?
Everything.
There you go. Balancing marriage, the crown. Clearly, the world is launching into chaos.
Modernization of the monarchy.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big theme. Princess Margaret is a big theme this season because obviously last season it was all about heartbreak. She wasn't allowed to marry who she wanted to. This season she kind of breaks out on her own. We'll also see a visit from John F. Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy in a state visit when they come to London.
I thought that actress, whoever she was, looked like Jackie Kennedy, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and it's pretty great. And I think that, you know, the interesting thing about this series is that this is the last season that these characters will, these actors will play these characters.
Right, because they're sort of,
in the
they're
third
too
season,
young looking, right?
Right, in the third season they're going to do a big time jump, and they haven't really announced any of the casting yet, except for the British actress Olivia Colman is going to be playing Queen Elizabeth.
Okay. So this is your last chance to see Claire Foy and a few of the other ones.
She's fantastic. She's so great in it.
All right, so Amazon's series, The Grand Tour, second season for that. Let's take a look at that.
Sure.
There you go.
Live and let die. 3, 2, 1. Go!
Hold tight, you want to hold on to something, seriously.
Man, I miss their BBC show so badly, and I'm so happy that the band is back together for a second season. This is like a little personal story. The BBC show, I was planning a trip to go to Botswana, and I already booked it, and then I was having like second thoughts, and I was really nervous about it. And on the BBC show, they did a race between the three of them across Botswana in these like beat-up cars.
Jalopies,
completely. And it was the best show ever, and I took it as a sign. Go to Botswana, Emery. And I did. It was the best trip of my life.
We should make all our decisions based on Top Gear.
I typically don't do that, but I felt like, you know, the heavens were speaking to me. So season 2, they're going to be guest stars here, too, right?
There's going to be a lot of guest stars. You'll see a lot of actors, Luke Evans, Kiefer Sutherland. There's a bunch of them. But the key here is that, like, Hugh Bonneville from Downton Abbey will be on. They're going to do a lot of interesting stuff with the amphibious vehicles. They're doing stuff where they're like driving cars down ski slopes.
I saw that.
As usual, there's not a lot of like really great judgment involved in their stunts, but they're really cool and they're really fun to watch. And they sort of, you know, make you lose your breath when you're watching it because you're like, I can't believe they're doing this. But
he's ready to jump out if anything goes wrong. Abandoned car.
I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, it's kind of like every like 11-year-old's fantasy, and like they get to do it.
Definitely.
Amazon's top-rated show.
Really?
Most watched show.
Okay, so Netflix has a documentary out. It's called The Voyeur. It features journalist Gay Talese. about an article and then a book that he wrote.
Right.
Let us just watch a little bit of it.
I received this letter in 1980. A man named Gerald Foos, who decided he wanted to buy a motel for the express purpose of using it to watch everything that was being done in private.
It had a high-pitched roof. That's where I would build my observation platform. They couldn't hear me. They couldn't see me. It was exactly what I wanted.
I'm writing a story about him for The New Yorker. I'm a natural person to write about a voyeur because as a writer, I'm a voyeur myself.
Nobody ever will be able to do what I did.
Eileen Foos is really disturbed, a sociopath who just needed the attention.
I spent more than 25 years waiting to bring his story and him as a person into the public eye.
Gives you a little taste.
So this is so like you said, this is about the New Yorker writer Gay Talese. He wrote this article in this book, and you know this documentary is kind of fascinating because you think it's going to be a profile of this guy who did this insane thing about like with this motel, but it actually is kind of a profile of the writer as well and the relationship that journalists have with their subjects.
Definitely.
In this case, I don't think that either of them come out smelling like roses. But yeah, I mean, it's sort of fascinating. There's a lot of questions about credibility and whether this guy is actually believable in his story, which of course is a big issue with journalism these days. But especially when it comes to this story, because I think it's like kind of an emotional gut punch to find out like that it might not all be true or whatever.
But don't say too much. Because some of these are little. Because I watched it over the weekend, and there's sort of some twists and turns. But really, it is just sort of the character studies. These two really interesting characters that have intersected over this bizarre story. And like you said, the whole time you're like, how is this guy not in jail?
Yeah, and I think the reason why it's called Voyeur is because like we all enjoy watching this story as well.
Yes.
Like I think that there's a lot of layers to it. And it makes you feel kind of gross, and also like it's fascinating. So it's a good watch. It's a good watch for sure.
Definitely, it's quite a tale. Mickey O'Connor, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.